One of the most universally loved pieces of fan media across any sort of show or movie is theories, because they are universally loved for the explanation of the unknown. And Ninjago is of course no different to this, because, well, I've made 3 of these videos already, but the fact is that there are so many Ninjago theories out there that exist that explain every single corner of this show. And if there's one thing I love, it's bringing them together for a video and trying to explain away these parts of the show in a way that makes somewhat sense. So that is what it's going to be today for part 4 of Ninjago Theories. And like always, let me know what you guys think of the theories that I present to you today. And if you do want a theories part 5, because I was thinking for part 5, I would exclusively cover theories that you guys believe about the show. So if that's what you would like, let me know. But that of course brings us into the number 5 pick for today. And this one is going to be the only one that contains spoilers for Dragon's Rising Season 2 Part 2. So if you haven't watched that season yet, for one, go watch it. But skip to this time if you don't want to be spoiled. But the theory essentially states the fate of Aaron when it comes to Season 3, because there is a bit of a divide right now over what his fate will be towards the end of that season. There is a very common consensus that Aaron is just going to make his way back to the ninja in a redemption arc, but I would like to cover the opposite theory. This being that this is officially it when it comes to Aaron and the ninja being allies, and he will never rejoin the ninja team. This basically comes down to the idea that the ninja won't have him back under fear that he has fallen essentially to the dark side. And to be honest, I would actually somewhat like this fate. This is also down to the fact that Lloyd's vision in Season 2 Part 2, where Aaron is stood amongst the Wolf Mask warriors, he is fully against the ninja in combat. So it will lead to the ninja no longer wanting him on the team out of worry, or just out of the idea that he turned against them. And I do think it would make for a very interesting fate for Aaron, as all he ever wanted was to be a ninja and part of the team, but now he has made his own bed and he is no longer a part of them. And honestly, this would make for something very interesting going forward. It would be a great way to flesh out Aaron a little more, and also give him and Sora more of a break between the two than we initially thought there was going to be. But honestly, do I really think they're going to do this? No. Unfortunately, I do think we're destined for Aaron having a redemption arc and coming back to the ninja, and I am not mad at that whatsoever. I just think it would be a very interesting fate if Aaron never did. But ultimately, this is the least likely out of the bunch in my opinion. So let's move on to number 4. Alright, welcome back non-spoiler Ninjago fans, you guys are my heroes. But this is going to bring us to our number 4, and honestly, I really like this theory. This theory regards Harumi, and this is essentially the idea that she managed to age herself up similar to how Lloyd did. Now, as we know from the flashback, she was a child during the events of Season 1, and so was Lloyd. But the thing is that we get to Season 8 and they are presumably the same age. Now, how does that happen? Now, as we know, Lloyd was aged up because of the Tomorrow tea that he uses during Season 2. Now, what's to say that Harumi didn't use the same tea as well? The theory essentially goes that Harumi got her way to Tomorrow's tea, whether that's through Mistake or whether that's through other means, but she got the same effect that Lloyd did, and that is how we see her at an older age in Season 8. Because honestly, how else would you really explain the two being presumably the same age? Or more specifically, Harumi is at least close in age to Lloyd. So how is there such a close proximity when it comes to age when Lloyd himself was aged up? Now, you could make the argument that Harumi was just simply older during the time of Season 1 than Lloyd was at the time, and that's how the difference is made. But the implication is that she was a young child similar to Lloyd. So there has to be a way for them to be at least somewhat similar in age as of the event of Sons of Garmadon. And honestly, I do kind of like this idea that Harumi aged herself up. It would really fit into her character for her whole feeling of revenge and getting Garmadon back, and honestly trying to take the place of Lloyd and being the child of Garmadon. Why not make herself more like Lloyd in the ways that Lloyd himself had done to him? I really do think this is a good explanation as to how Lloyd and Harumi are basically the same age. And honestly, I think it does just fit in Harumi's character. But let me know what you guys think. But this does bring us to the number 3 spot, and to an extent you could consider this factual, but this is still a theory as it was never outright confirmed. And this one does regard Chen. This theory essentially goes that Chen had people stalking the ninja throughout the entirety of Season 1 through till the Tournament of Elements, and this is the only way a certain aspects would happen. I mean, how else would you explain the fact that Chen has Zane's pink G from Season 1, and also just the amount of knowledge that Chen has about the ninja themselves? The only explanation is that he had someone keeping an eye on the ninja and making sure that he was building their knowledge and also getting the ninja to him at the right time. Because I do feel like it goes without saying that Chen was planning the Anachondrite scheme way before the event of the pilot and Season 1, because he began this idea during the Serpentine Wars. So, the only reason I could give is that Chen was keeping an eye on the ninja. But do you guys believe this? Again, let me know. But as for theory number 2, I found this in the comment section of my own video, and I simply couldn't ignore how good it actually is. A commenter by the name of Lone Wolf, and by the way, if you're watching this video, thank you so much because I genuinely love this theory. The theory essentially states that the stone warriors that we see under the command of the Overlord were actually Oni. And to go a step further, Kozu is the only warlord of vengeance, and there is a lot of evidence behind this. There is a lot of reasons that Lone Wolf does give for this, and honestly I agree with all of them. The fact that there are so many design similarities, the black skin, the fact that there are smaller soldiers, larger soldiers, so on and so forth, and all those little details all just add up. And it would make complete sense that the Overlord would see the Oni and corrupt them and make them into his own personal army. Because it goes without saying that the Overlord clearly has that kind of power behind him. And again, it does just kind of make sense. And Kozu being the only warlord of vengeance makes so much sense, because his skill set really does match up to the Mask of Vengeance itself. You could attribute the red and the white, you could attribute the 4 arms, the expert of swordsmanship. It all adds up to create Kozu, and it really does make sense. Now you could make the argument that we see the Overlord in the flashback creating the Stone Warriors out of the dark matter, but you could see it differently, being that the Overlord cast this dark matter or this indestructible material around the Oni, and that is how they came to be, which honestly again makes sense. But I genuinely do adore this theory, and I really do think there is some merit to it, because we don't outright know what really happened to the Oni warlords. There is an idea that the spirits of each of the warlord found their way into the Oni masks, but there is not an explanation for where they went themselves. And honestly, Kozu being the only warlord of vengeance really does make sense to me, and it does bring the idea of what happened to the other two. But again, like every other theory, let me know what you guys think, because I honestly think this is the most fascinating theory of the lot. And again, thank you Lone Wolf. But for the last theory for today, we are going to talk about each realm of Ninjago, or at least each of the known realms of Ninjago, and how each of them fall into place with each other. Because as we know, each of the realms does have a sister realm, because when the cursed realm fell, Ninjago also fell along with it. So the implication is that when one falls, another one does as well. So which of the other realms are actually paired together? Now, in my opinion, there are 10 realms that we know enough about to be able to pair them together with. So let me pair each of them together that doesn't include the realm of Ninjago, because that is the only one that's the outlier, as it is technically the 17th realm. To start it off completely simply, the Cursed Realm and Ninjago are sister realms. The show has outright confirmed that. There is no reason to speculate on that any further. I would say next up is going to be that the realm of the Oni and the Dragon, or the first realm, pairs up with the Departed realm, the final realm, the beginning and the end coming together as their sisters' realms. So I think that bunches up nicely together. But to start being more speculative, I do think the idea that the opposites attract is going to be the theme here. So I'd say next up is the Cloud Kingdom and the Underworld, the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows. Because if you look at it, they do share a lot of different aspects with each other. So I do think they're also sister realms. The next two to pair up together, I would say, is Mysterium and Imperium. Because not only are they similar names, if you think about it, they are also opposites. Imperium focuses a lot on technology, whereas Mysterium focuses a lot on magic. So again, they do link up together nicely to form another two of the realms. Those are the last of the ones I would say make more sense, so these are definitely the more speculative ones. But I would say that the next two are going to be the Realm of Madness and the Realm of the Wildness, because they both possess non-humanoid versions of species. Because if you look at the Realm of Madness, you would see a lot of rock-based species. And then if you look at the Wildness, you would look at it as a lot of animal-like species. And again, if you look at it, they are kind of opposites in nature. So I do think those two also come together to make two separate realms that come together as sisters. And those are the only ones so far that I can comfortably link up with each other, because I won't give Ninjago a sister realm because it's the 17th, and there are still a bunch of realms that we aren't aware of. So I don't really know which ones I could place with, for example, the Nether realm. But there is clearly a sister realm for it out there, and I'd be curious to know which one it is. But if you want somewhat of an explanation for the Nether realm for this theory, I would say that the realm that we have reference to, which contains the Mother Garden, is probably your best bet. Because again, if you think about it in the aspect of opposites attract, a realm covered by ice, and a realm covered by pure nature, or pure greenness, is kind of the opposites coming together. So I'd say they're probably the sisters, but we don't know enough about that realm yet. So that is it when it comes to this theory. But again, let me know what you guys think. But that about does it for the theories for today. And let me know which ones you guys agree with and which ones you guys disagree with. And also, like I said at the beginning, let me know if you want to see a part 5 where I exclusively talk about theories presented by you guys. But like I said, that about does it for today. Thank you for watching. Take care. Okay,